Hi Taurus, how are we? Just going to be doing a bit of a general reading for you today, Taurus. We're just going to sort of do, whatever comes out. I will be using a couple of decks here today. I've got the Paper Oracle Lenormand. I do have the Slavic Folklore Lenormand. I do also have with me the Island Time Wellness Oracle deck there. But what we're going to start off today, I'm going to grab us a sort of inspirational quote, I suppose, from A Guide for the Advanced Soul, Book of Insight. Okay, so it has some lovely quotes in here. So we'll sort of see what's sort of coming out for everybody this week. So I'll get started with that for you. Taurus. Okay, your only obligation in any lifetime is to be true to yourself. Okay, and that's by Richard Bach Illusions. All right, so, being true to yourself might be quite an important message for you to hear this week, Taurus. But like I said, we will sort of be looking at what's just coming out a bit general. I'm going to sort of let us roll with whatever the universe sort of wants to let us know at the moment for you. What I'm going to do, I'm going to start off with the more energetic side of things rather than the reality side of things. Okay, so we're looking for Taurus, please. What energy is Taurus currently in, please? Okay, so Taurus, we're finding you here in the crossroad and the letter energy. So some choices and decisions might be important for you this week energetically. Okay, so things like having to make choices about who you are, where you're going in life. Like we saw with that thing, staying true to yourself, trying to make those choices that are the truth of yourself. Okay, especially with the letter there, we do sort of find the letter does talk about communication. Okay, so but because we're looking more energetically at the moment, we're going to be sort of looking at talking to yourself and talking to the real you inside about what sort of, where do you want to go in this life and those sorts of things. With the crossroads coming through as your energy, I would be it would be lax of me to not mention that it does sort of feel as though you are following your true path. You are on the right path, one way or another. Sometimes we may get a bit confused about feeling whether we are on the right path or not. But, with that coming through in your main energy, I would dare say that you're on your right path, regardless of sort of what's happening in your life and around you. These things are obviously supposed to be happening as part of your own path in this life. But we'll have a look, and what's the main energy coming towards Taurus this week, please? Main energy surrounding Taurus this week, please. Okay, and anything important Taurus needs to know at this time? Okay, so we are seeing the main energies around you at the moment, Taurus. We do have the scales card there, followed by the flowers. Okay, so we are sort of seeing that all that energy around you, it's all about balance at the moment with those scales coming out. Obviously, that can talk about, is it Libra that are the scales? My brain is not catching up with me today, but there may be a Libra energy around you, but with the scales, we really are talking about that balance, and once again, coming to that, that path there, following your path, and finding that balance within yourself, Taurus. I feel that that's going to be quite important for you at the moment, as well as this giving energy. The flowers and the bouquet is quite a giving energy, so it's really talking about, the energy wants to give to you, so you need to give to the energies around you. Okay, but we are seeing that sort of in the energy around you, so you may actually be getting some sort of physical gifts this week as well. Sometimes that can talk about sort of more physical gifts, like even to the literal point of somebody coming and giving you a bunch of flowers this week. But I'm feeling energetically it's all about balancing that sense within yourself, finding that balance in your life in all areas. You know, because when you're finding that balance energetically, balance comes in so many different areas. It's not just sort of the one particular area that we're needing to find balance with that card. You're really needing to give yourself a bit of time, give yourself, some love, that sort of a stuff, and you will really help yourself find that balance. But the energy's there for the taking, so it's lovely message for you there, Taurus. Now, with anything else important that you may want to know, I am getting the feminine energy coming out with that tower energy. So that can, like, for some of the Taurus out there, that is going to be talking about a woman that was significant to you in the past. I don't normally like to genderize that feminine energy, but it is actually feeling more along the lines of an actual person, an actual woman from your past who may have at some time been very important to you. And other than that, when we're going back to looking at finding that balance within yourself, we can be talking quite a lot about building up the foundation of that feminine energy within you. So whether you're a male or a female, building on that feminine energy, that nurturing, loving energy, that emotional energy, coming from a bit more emotion than strictly logic with that particular energy. So I do feel as though, for majority of the Taurus out there, we are sort of just talking about balancing out that energy and really focusing on nurturing more feminine sides of yourself at this time. The Tower can talk quite a lot about the foundations that we lay, as well as taking time to yourself as well. There, it can talk about a little bit of solitude necessary for you to balance all this energy out and to make these choices within yourself that we're looking at there, Taurus. So ultimately pretty good for you energetically this week, I would sort of say. But we'll have a look. I'll grab that second Lenormand deck there, and we'll have a look at the more reality of your situation at the moment. So like I said, we're sort of splitting it today into that energy and then the reality of life, the day-to-day sort of stuff. Okay, so what's going on for Taurus with the day-to-day kind of stuff, please? The reality for Taurus at the moment, please. Okay. Okay, and what aspect of life are we looking at this week for Taurus? Okay, so the aspect of your more reality kind of life that you're probably going to be focusing on this week, Taurus, we do have the house and the heart popping out for that there. So straight away that brings to mind that saying, home is where the heart is. So love matters may be important to you in some way, shape, or form this week, but I'm really feeling that it's more to do with your house and your home life. So if you are living with living with other people, finding that love for those people and that loving energy for those people, regardless of your connection to them, love is quite important when it comes to our home base, our little bubble of security that we do live in there. I am sort of only kind of getting that as a physical this week, so I feel like we're really focusing on our actual home life at the moment, Taurus. So when we did see that giving sort of energy in your energy, we may actually find that part of your self-care this week, Taurus, may actually be to take a bit more care about your surroundings. That, like I said, that security bubble that you do sort of go home to every night, where you sleep. Get some new sheets or some new pillowcases or something like that, just to give yourself a little bit of that self-care, nurturing kind of a vibe in your environment, I feel, this week for you, Taurus. But, obviously too, we do see the heart coming out as well. So we really are looking at, that sort of nurturing, loving energy. So really finding that peace and love for your environment this week, I feel, Taurus. The main message that we have coming through with that, we do have the Knight, the Snake, and then the Tower as well. Okay, so once again, the Tower is another card that can talk about more environmental things, taking a bit of time to yourself, a bit of solitude, like I mentioned when we saw that in your energy. So because the Tower is coming through twice in your energy, I'm really feeling that, having that structure within yourself, having solid boundaries, taking time when you do need time to yourself, quite important to you at the moment, Taurus. And with the Knight card, which is the Rider card there, and the Snake card coming out, I feel like this is sort of the physical manifestation of that energy that we did see. So when we saw the Crossroad and the sorry, my brain today, like in the scales and those balancing kind of choices with the and also that letter card as well. The Knight can be quite similar, to those sorts of energies where it's bringing something in. There's energy coming your way, and it's sort of talking more about the action and the arrival of those, so that communicating with yourself and putting that into action as well. Okay, and really following your desires and your ambitions when it comes to the things that you do really want for yourself. The Snake really does have a lot of passion behind it. Okay, so the passion, what is it that you're truly passionate about, and sort of following that path and sticking to that path, and having those desires and ambitions and letting them sort of come out in your actions as well as just in the, when you're communicating with yourself. We're obviously seeing a bit of follow through this week between your energetical side, and then through into the actual actions from that. Once you've found that sort of balance and found what path you really do want to be following, maybe taking a bit of time to yourself, making sure your environment's nice and cozy for you there, but really sort of putting those ambitions into play in your real waking life as well. So definitely looking at a positive sort of week for you guys there, Taurus. Like I said, you may just need to take a bit of time to yourself this week, and just focus on your intimate sort of environment in the physical. So, with, like I said, for me, I straight away jump to the whole idea of, jumping into the bed and making sure the bed's nice and cozy. A lot of people do spend quite a lot of time, in the bedroom, with, that's a very relaxing, restful area of the home, right? But wherever you feel those changes in your home, just maybe bringing in just a small change here and there, just to sort of help, make your space just that little bit more comfortable, because we may be taking some time to ourselves this week and spending just that little bit more time at home. Okay. But I'll grab, when we're talking about more directly talking about love there, Taurus, I'm just going to grab an oracle or two for us. So Taurus, what's coming through for Taurus with love, please? Okay, I'll grab two. Oh, and an extra one jumped out anyway. So firstly, we're seeing the photograph card there, okay? So that does say looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, and making new memories, okay? So when we did see in the energy that there is possibly for some of you a woman that was of past importance to you in your energy at the moment, I feel as though that may be that person, and they're just sort of reminiscing about you, and the connection they may have had with you at some point. It could also be you, Taurus, reminiscing about certain people from your past. But and that's sort of going to be coming into play when it comes to balancing yourself out a little bit, working out like those past people. Obviously they were in your life at one point for a reason, but what about those previous connections are going to help you find balance now and in the future? Okay, so if we are reflecting onto the past a little bit, try to make sure you're keeping in mind what changes we can affect for the future. What lessons have we learned from knowing that person? What did we learn about ourselves from knowing that person? Okay, so we are also seeing the golden mirror, which came out with the phoenix. Okay, so once again, I feel as though this may be talking about that energy that we saw. That was the potential woman from the past energy. All right, it does say with the golden mirror. Self-absorbed, narcissist, one-sided relationship, and love bombing. Okay, so there may have been somebody in your past that did sort of display some of those qualities, and we're really sort of needing to, like I said, use that knowledge of that past situation to help us progress in the future there, because what we are seeing next is that Phoenix card, and like Phoenix always rises from the ashes. Okay, so I feel as though that golden mirror, that's not actually in your life anymore. I feel as though that's a past experience that you've had with someone who may have been, love bombing or self-absorbed, and, one-sided relationship. So you felt as though you gave a lot more energy than you received in that past person, that connection, I feel. But this does sort of say new phase, rekindling, renewing, transformation, growth, and change mind. So I do feel that's just sort of talking a lot more about, your self-balancing act that we're doing this week, Taurus. And I feel it's going to be sort of a big week for you when it comes to introspection and using past experiences to push you further. Because with the Phoenix there, that does sort of let me know that once we've gone through that phase that we need to be in at the moment, where we are just taking a bit of solitude and finding that balance within ourselves, there's definitely some new phases opening up to you after that. Okay, so I just feel that for this week, it's more important for you to be focusing on yourself this week, Taurus. Okay, I do have my little homemade cards here that I still haven't fixed up yet. I've been meaning to do it. I just haven't. I've had such a busy week this last few weeks, and this week's no better. So hopefully I'll be finding some time soon. But they are just the letters, months, and signs. Okay, so we'll see if there's anything in particular coming through that may be important to you, Taurus, in the near future. So Taurus, with love connections, please. Taurus and love connections, please. Taurus and love connections, please. We have a W popping out there. Okay, I'll grab a couple more. Okay, so no actual signs popping on out, but we do have quite a few letters and a couple of months there. Okay, so the months we're seeing is May and August. Okay, so being that it is currently May, we may be talking about this next couple of month period, May, June, July, August, May through to August, may be important when it comes to, I feel that we're going to be kind of starting this balancing act now, but then by August we should be feeling some new sort of love energy coming on through. So maybe just taking the time to really make sure we are following the right path within ourselves and following our own desires and ambitions. But otherwise these particular months may be somehow important to you, Taurus. Obviously, probably quite a lot of the Taurus clan out there are born in May as well, so that may be why that one's popping out there for you. But we are obviously also seeing August there as well. Now, quite interesting, when I've pulled out the letters there, Like I did mention, we did get that W. It kind of flipped on out straight away. So, there may be some important W words that are going to be quite relevant to you in the near future. I want to say water keeps jumping out at me. So, but it could be somebody's first, like somebody's initial, anything like that. And now, a very unusual letter. Not many people would have an X in their name or anything like that, or as an initial. But when I first saw that card, it says to me, X marks the spot. Okay, so you may be that may be relevant to somebody out there. We did also get the letter B and the letter C as well. Okay, so those may be important to you in some way, shape, or form, Taurus. But if not, if it doesn't resonate, that's totally fine. Feel free to check your other placements. And also, I will mention, Taurus. I have just uploaded that full moon shadow work video recently, and I was getting some pretty heavy duty messages coming through during that, and seeing that we are looking at a period of introspection for you there, Taurus. I would recommend going back to that shadow work video, and maybe there may be some things there for you with that that you could sort of be using just as a bit of a guideline to help you through this period of balance for you there, Taurus. But, leave me a comment and let me know what you guys think. Let me know if that resonated. Everyone that does leave a comment will go in the draw for a free personal reading as well. So thank you all for your time today, and I'll see you again soon, Taurus.